This is V back again on another daily review. I hope that you had a great weekend. Mine was not too bad. And today we are going to talk about a very hyped and very pricey fragrance by the House of Guerlain, Tobacco Honey. And this fragrance costs around $400. And again, thanks to my friend who works at Guerlain in Paris, he sent me a couple of samples from that expensive, that pricey line of L'Art et Métier by Guerlain, and I test them because I wanted to have my opinion. And it's not the kind of fragrance that you pull the trigger easily. It costs you $400, and you really have to make your opinion first before pulling the trigger. So I tested this fragrance during the weekend, and I can give you my opinion about this fragrance. So let's first start the note breaks and the usual stuff. So this fragrance has been released in 2023. It's a unisex fragrance for women and men, and the perfumer behind is Delphine JELK. Is the amber woody fragrance. Top notes are honey, cloves, anise. Heart notes are tobacco, tonka bean, vanilla, and sesame. Base notes are agarwood and sandalwood. And main accords are sweet, honey, vanilla, tobacco, warm and spicy, floral, oud, and powdery. And Dolphin Joke said that I wanted to combine honey and tobacco for a long time. On the one hand, we have the dried tobacco leaves with their powdery aroma. On the other hand, we have honey as a delicious enveloping nectar, said Delphine Jelk, the perfumer and the creative director at Guerlain. Then what is the duty of Thierry Vasser? I thought Thierry Vasser was the director of Guerlain, creative director. Well, maybe he's just there for his charm. And this fragrance got lots of loves, lots of hype around here, and that people are mad about it. Well, immediately people started to compare this with Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford, and also Herod by Parfum de Marly. Well, what I can tell you about my own personal experience, that really here we have the honey. The honey note is important here, and we can smell the honey. But the most important thing is how Delphine Joke managed to blend well the honey notes, tobacco notes, spices, and woodsy notes. And it's a perfect fragrance, really. I have to say this here. I'm not going to tell you that I hate it or I dislike. It's a perfect fragrance. It's a niche quality. You don't have a doubt about it. This is not a designer fragrance. The quality is here, and you can feel the raw materials they use. It's fabulous. But I think it's a little bit heavy to wear this fragrance. You have to wear it moderately and don't push, because you don't need to push. This fragrance with one or two spray is fairly enough and lasts 8-9 hours on your skin. And it's a lovely scent. And I don't like that people compare it with the Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford, but we have to admit that even the shape of the bottles, even the cap of the bottles looks like a Tom Ford's exclusive line. So yeah, they are trying to get and grab customers from the Tom Ford's exclusive line, because here you have a niche quality. Here you have the skills of the perfumer at Guerlain, and even the title is in English. Tobacco honey, tobacco vanilla, so very similar. And they got absolutely they don't want to miss a train. They really had to follow the hype of Tom Ford's fragrances because they started to realize that this is a new trend now. Unisex fragrances, expensive fragrances, and they have a niche market for that. And they have customers who are ready to buy this fragrance. So this is exactly the new trend that they are trying to follow. But it's not the clone. It's not the clone of Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. It's a very nice, warm, and comfy tobacco scent. Here, the tobacco and all the gourmand side are very little bit darker than the Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford is more lean to gourmand version. Here you don't have that. You have the gourmand notes, of course. There is a gourmand notes here, but the gourmand notes is not dominant. The gourmand notes, it's lurking around, is behind the curtain. But with tobacco vanille, with Tom Ford, the gourmand is very dominant. Is on the front seat, so it's not the same thing. But no way, absolutely, this fragrance has been inspired by tobacco vanille by Tom Ford. And okay, now we have to make a big question mark of are you ready to spend $400 for 100 ml? Why? I think if you have the budget and if you like that type of honeyish, woodsy fragrances, then go for it. Absolutely go for it because it's a nice fragrance. Quality is here. You don't need to overspray. Just the one or two spray is fair enough for a whole day, and your bottle will last, if you are not wearing that every day. This is not a fragrance for spring or for summer season. This is a fragrance for fall and winter. So don't wear it on the heat, please. This is not a fragrance made for hot season. But I'm telling you, really the quality is here, and the blend is a nice blend. If you like that type of gourmand, woodsy, honeyish fragrances, I didn't dislike. To be very honest with you, I didn't dislike, but I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger to buy a bottle of that. To be very sincere, I personally I don't know. I might do it, but if the if the price drop or if I am on a duty free shop and I can have a big discount on that, maybe I will get. But I am not hurrying up to get this. Absolutely. And the reason is that I am not a very fan of those heavy gourmandish fragrances that they are made for men and women. I am more a fan of manly fragrances of the 70s, like Aramis, like Coron by Puig, or Van Cleef and Arpels, Pizarre, or stuff like that. This is my taste. So, but I'm very honest. This is a nice fragrance. This is a nice fragrance, and they come up with a nice fragrance. Absolutely has been inspired by Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille and the whole concept of those exclusive line from Tom Ford. They created their own line, which is Art and Métier by Guerlain. Is a niche quality because you pay the price of a niche, and it's a real niche. It's not a designer line. This is a high quality, as the French say. This is a haute parfumerie. This is a high perfumery. So they really use great materials. Hello, how are you? How is doing everything? I hope it's fine with you. So the materials they use, it's a premium. It's a premium material, no doubt about it. The quality is here, and it's all up to you. You have to test this fragrance, and then you have to make up your mind if you really want to buy. If you have the budget to buy, it's not easy to pull the trigger for $400. This is the only problem with this fragrance that might be a kind of blocking for some people. But maybe prices will be a little bit lower, but I don't think so because this fragrance belong to a niche quality of Guerlain line, and I don't think the price will drop. I don't think you will find this fragrance on website discounters. I think the price will remain high, and if you really love, you have to make some sacrifices and then buy it. This is after all a full bottle of designer fragrances, so why not? Everybody can manage to buy it, but personally, I'm telling you, I am not sure I'm going to buy this for myself because I don't wear that type of fragrances oftenly, so I even never bought Tom Ford's tobacco vanille because it's not my style. So I prefer more manly fragrances, more vintage fragrances. Hi everyone. The only honey fragrance that I really like, and it's always in my wardrobe, has been the original Gentleman by Givenchy from 1974, and Bus Number One from 1989. Those are very similar, and also I like Marlboro Gentleman. Those are fragrances that they have honey notes, but they are more manly than this one and Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. So it's really something very personal. It's absolutely personal that I will maybe buy or I will maybe not buy. But I'm very honest. It's a nice fragrance. It's a nice release by the House of Guerlain. It's a niche quality, and the quality you can feel it is here. The lasting power is great. Really, I had it on my skin for 10 hours. I tested for 10 hours, was still there, and the projection is great, and your surrounding really appreciate that. My wife told me that a little bit not for guys, so that was fair enough for me that it's not for me. But it's up to you guys. You gotta try by yourself, and you gotta make up your own decision on Tobacco Honey by Guerlain. Nice release, well deserved hype, and I think it's a premium fragrance. It's a premium quality. The rest belong to you. Always test and then smell and then make a decision. Never buy blind buy. Especially never buy blind buy for very expensive fragrances. For pricey fragrances, you really got to test. If there is a Guerlain shop around you, go and test there. Otherwise, you can find samples on websites. You can always manage to get a vial and test it from your own site. Stay fragrant and remember, wear only what you want to wear, and don't follow the hype because the hype might fool you. I'll be back with another review very soon. Until we talk again, God bless you all. Cheerio!